Hey guys, today I want to show you how to make a ringbolt hitching handle wrap. This is a handle wrap that we haven't covered on this channel before. We've done a lot of other ones. We're slowly trying to fill out our list of 25 handle wraps that we've got in a blog post on our website. We'll put a link to that in the description so you can check it out as we continue to make more tutorials for that list. So all you're going to need for this one is some paracord and a fid, and then whatever you're tying your handle wrap around to. I've just got a wooden dowel here to demonstrate. But this wrap would look good on things like a walking stick or a decorative paddle or other decorations. Let's dive in. So to begin, you want to find one end and put a fid on it. And then the other end is where we'll be starting. Start by laying it across your handle, and then wrapping it around the back and over the top to form an X. Then around again to cross over right next to your previous cord. And then around once more around the bottom. So there's our setup. It kind of holds our standing end in place. Now to do our first loop, we're going to be going over these first two cords with our fid to come up on top. Once we get there, we want to go behind our standing end. I'll turn a little bit here, and we want to go underneath that first wrap, but over the next ones. So coming right through here, like that. We've got that loop around our standing end. We want to pull all of our slack through at this point. So now bringing our working end over back to the right side, we've got a full loop around that standing end. Our second layer is going to be much the same with just a small difference. Wrap it around your handle one more time. And then a normal ring bolt hitching would be where we go over this bottom cord and come out on top of the bottom cord on the other side, so right through here. But I'm going to modify that a little bit, and we're going to be going over the bottom two on this right side to come through there. If we did it that first way, we would have some gaps in our weave around the edge, and the ridge down the middle would tend to twist one direction. So when we do it this way, it's much more stable, although it is a little bit harder to tighten down. So we'll pull that through. And loop it around to the right side again. So now you can kind of start to see that pattern developing. We want that to go straight down the handle. Even with our modifications, it's going to tend to twist just a little bit that direction, so we just want to keep it running straight. Wrap it around again, and we're going to do the same thing. Count up 2 and go right through to the other side where there's now 2 wraps. So the existing one and the one we just are working with now. Then before we tighten that down, we want to tighten the one before it so that we get each row tight. So to do that, this row is obviously loose because that's the one we just did, but we want to tighten down that previous row. So feed that cord through, pull this loop tight, and then wrap it around and pull the next loop. You can leave that very bottom one that we just did a little bit loose, and that'll allow us to thread the fid through a little bit easier. We'll keep going with that pattern and catch you once we've made a couple inches of that weave. So a couple of tips to keep in mind as you're doing this. Your cord is going to come out the left each side, but you want to make sure that you don't wrap it around to the left. You want to bring it across to the right and around. And then if you lose your place on where you're going through next, you can look at where you've gone through the last time. So I went through this gap last time, and so I want to go through this gap the next time. So as long as you set it up right in the first place, with that counting up 2, so we're going over 2 of the existing chords, then it should follow each time after that. Just stick it through, pull your cord through, and don't tighten that down fully before you've pulled on this loop to tighten your previous layer. And then loosely tighten down your bottom layer. Until your last one, then you want to tighten your bottom layer really nice and tight before you snip your ends. So we'll do that now. You can see it kind of tends to slip towards the side, but it stays much straighter than that original ring bolt hitching. So to cut off the ends, I just like to cut them right where they are. Because these are such tight knots, you can really just melt it down right there and push it against for a nice secure knot. It's not going to pull through. On the top, you can kind of feed the end through to make sure that's as tight as it can be. And then you do the same thing. So that's it for today's tutorial, but be sure to check out that blog post down in the description where we have 25 different handle wraps that we're eventually going to be adding tutorials for each one of them, but we've got about half of them now, so be sure to check those out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.